When you first start up Adobe Premiere Pro, this is the screen you're going to see. This is the home screen. And at the top left corner, you've got the option to create a new project or open an existing project. Now, when you create a project in Premiere Pro, you're actually creating a file. It's a .proj file, and that file contains all of your creative decisions, but very little of your media, only really some of the media that you generate, like graphics and titles. Everything else is just linked to from the project file. But naturally, that project file is very important, and you're going to need to make sure that you store it somewhere that's easy to find and secure. I'm going to click here on New Project. This is actually repeated. I can click over here as well in the middle, and I'm going to give this new project a name. I'm going to call this First Project. And you see we've got this option to specify a location for the project file. This is going to be a new file that's created. So I'll just click Choose Location. I'm going to just create a new folder here, I suppose, that I'll call Projects, and I'll save it in there. So this is really just a file like any other. Now, I'm going to skip the import mode for now because I'm going to be covering importing properly in another tutorial. We'll just touch on it briefly here. I'm going to click Create, and this is going to take me into my project. And that really is it. You've got a project file. You don't really need to configure any settings or anything because all of the settings to do with the way your media is managed are really defined in your sequence settings. You can have as many sequences as you want in a project rather than your project settings. I'll get rid of this notification, go to my Workspaces menu, and go to Editing, and I think we're good to go. Now, I'm going to need some media in order to show you how to create a sequence. So to do that, I'm going to go to Import Mode, and again, I'll show you in more detail how this bit of the interface works later. We've got locations on the left, contents here in the middle, and some import settings on the right. I'm going to browse into my Theft Unexpected folder here. You see there's a breadcrumb trail at the top, exercise files, assets, Theft Unexpected, and I'm just going to click once on a few of these to choose to import them. I won't worry about any of these settings. I don't really need them. I'm going to click Import. And now I've got a bin, which is a folder, if you like, a container. This was actually created automatically. It's like a subfolder for the project panel. And if I double click on this, there are the various clips that I've just imported. Down at the lower left corner here in the project panel, you'll see there's a few buttons. I can have a list view or a thumbnail view. This is just like Windows or Mac OS in Explorer or Finder. There's even a freeform view where I can move things around more organically. But I'm just going to stay in the list view for now. Now, I want to create a sequence to add clips to, and I want that sequence to have things like a frame rate and a frame size and a pixel aspect ratio, all of the settings for my media to match my original clips. That'll minimize conversion, improve playback performance, and keep the quality high. So a quick way to do this is to right-click on a clip, as I did in a previous lesson, and choose New Sequence from Clip. And this, of course, means I've got the whole clip in the sequence. I might not want that, so I'm going to select that clip and hit Backspace or Delete to remove it. Another way to create a sequence is here at the lower right corner of the project panel. There's a new item menu. Lots of items that you can create here in your project. I'm going to choose Sequence, and this gives me access to a long list of presets. Now, looking at my list view, I can see my media is 25 frames per second, and I believe it's HD. So I'm going to choose one of these HD presets. I get a description here. And if I go to the Settings tab in this New Sequence dialog box, I can specify all of the individual settings if I want to. My advice is, if you don't know what these settings mean, just right-click on a clip and choose New Sequence from Clip, and you'll have a sequence that matches your media. But if you do get things wrong and you drag a clip in, you get a clip mismatch warning. Do you want to change the sequence settings to match your media, which you probably will want to do, or keep the existing settings because you've got some particular purpose for using those settings for your project? I'll click Change Sequence Settings, and now I can continue to edit in my project.